What's going on, my friends? GBEAST of a Lesson In Headbanging Podcast, where we talk about all things rock, hard rock, and heavy metal. Yes, here we are, man. And I am back right here on the podcast, also right here on YouTube as well. You can't believe me, it took me this long to get on here. By the way, I do have another podcast, Into the Square Circle Podcast. If you're a fan of pro wrestling, that's been all my attention's been on. But I'm back on here for a right reason, right? Today, July the 5th, 2025, we just wrapped up the Black Sabbath final show in Ozzy Osbourne's final show. History. It was a historic, those who are at Villa Park, historic night here in the United States, here in Chicagoland area, a historic day. My God, what a historic show. We will talk about it right here on the show. Before I continue on, if you're watching live right here, or not watching live, but maybe you're watching this on YouTube, give me a follow and a subscribe as always. I don't have a QR code on here. Excuse me. I have a podcast. Take the podcast to go. We'll put this on the podcast as well. So give me a follow, subscribe, all Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, you name it. As I mentioned, if you're watching right here on the show, give me a follow and subscribe here on YouTube, also on TikTok, Facebook. Very active on Instagram. So if you have an Instagram, I'm constantly posting tours, festivals. I mean, you name it. I got it on my official Instagram. I'll Listen to Headbanging Podcast. Give me a follow and subscribe. All right, let's get into business here. So let's celebrate, man. Celebrate Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne. It just, what a night. What a night. Cheers, man. So, that being said, gave me a lot of memories when the last time I saw Sabbath. Unfortunately, was not with Bill Ward. I kind of wish I saw Bill Ward alongside with Tony Giesler and Ozzy Osbourne. But of course, the last time I saw them was the End Tour, right? Right here. I have the official poster right here. The End Tour, Black Sabbath, right? Tommy Caflados on drums, right? This is the last tour I saw Black Sabbath with Ozzy. And then, of course, I saw Ozzy at least twice in his solo career. One at Chicago Open Air Festival a couple years ago, and seeing him the final time under the No More Tours tour a couple years. So I'm grateful enough to see Ozzy live a couple times and see Black Sabbath one more time as they wrap up their career. And here we are, man. Final show, Birmingham, England, at the Villa Park Stadium. Hometown, home country. And you have every major rock and roll heavy metal band performing on it, right? Of course, the set list got leaked a couple hours prior to the show. Here's the set list. Anthrax playing 15 minutes. Guns N' Roses playing like 30 minutes. I'm like, holy shit, these major bands, they normally play 2 hours long, are playing like 30 minutes. Mastodon, right? 15 minutes. I'm like, whoa. Slayer, 30 minutes. I'm like, hold on here. But there's a reason why these bands are playing these short set times. And that's why, because this whole event entirely has got to be 9-10 hours long. Now, unless you went out to Villa Park yourself, you're a trooper, man. You guys survived the whole damn thing, but you guys witnessed it live. And I'm jealous. I wish I was there. But without having the proper funds, vacation time from work, it was just impossible for me to fly out there, and just expense and all that good shit. So if you made it out there here from America, the good of USA, you did it, man. You did it. You witnessed heavy metal history. And we're going to kind of review the set list from all the bands that played on the show tonight. By the way, they did a live stream for everyone else around the world that couldn't make it, including myself. I did watch the live stream. For some people, I had some issues with the live stream, and I kind of missed out half the show. I got to see Anthrax play Indians. Attempted to do a Black Sabbath cover. I missed out Hailstorm. I missed out Lamb of God. I missed out Mastodon. What else I seen? I seen part of Supergroup A, at least some of it. But when my live stream really got working, I finally got into Alice in Chains and Gojira, and that's where I was able to watch the rest of the show without interruptions, of course. But I was dealing with streaming issues. I know I'm not the only one that's been dealing with it, but I guess just the perks of watching a live stream. So let's look at the set list, man. If you missed out on it, let's talk about it, man. I'm going to share the screen here, courtesy of loudwire.com. They get the credit. They put the set list of what happened over there in Villa Park, of course. So let me go ahead and share the screen, you guys, from the Black Sabbath Back to the Beginning farewell show. So hold on. We're at the wrong one here. We're not looking at Pro Tools. You don't want to see my Pro Tools. Stop sharing. Let's come back here to me. So let's retry that again one more time, because we're not going to show you guys my Pro Tools information. So let's try that one more time. The Black Sabbath. This is a redo it again of the Ozzy Osbourne. Here we go. That's right. I was right under that page. Here we go. Black Sabbath, courtesy of loudwire.com. And again, you could check it out. You can follow along. The Back to the Beginning concert set list, right? You guys Mastodon, Black Tongue, Blood and Thunder classic, Super Nut, cover, right? The first tribute cover live at Villa Park. There's this computer. We also had Tool's very own Danny Carey joined to play that song. Failed to mention that. Rival Sons, one of my favorite rock and roll bands of all time out there right now. Today, kicking ass. Do Your Worst. They also did the cover of Black Sabbath, Electric Funeral. Number 3, Secrets. So there we go from Rival Sons. Anthrax, which I said I watched Indians, which was fantastic. And then they did the Black Sabbath cover, Into the Void. And then up next on the show, Hailstorm. Come on. Bear with me, folks. Hailstorm. I kind of missed out. I kind of wish I saw it. No, I'm not interested in subscribing right now. I love Bites. So do I. Rain, Your Blood on Me. And number 3, Ozzy's cover, Perry Manson. I can't do it. Don't quit your job, G. All right, let's move on here. Next, Lamb of God. And I seen the replay of Children of the Grave, which was hard, right? Jamie Jost would say hard. And Laid to Rust, Redneck, and of course I mentioned Black Sabbath, Children of the Grave. And I'm not going to click on the video due to copyright here. Supergroup, right? Comprised of Lizzie Hale, David Draymond, which I heard he got booed. Whitfield Crane, I'm not sure who that is. Youngblood. We'll talk about that in a second. Jake E. Lee, Mike Borden, David Elson, Adam Wakeman, Nuno Betancourt, Scott Ian, Frank Bello, and Sleep Token, one of the members from Sleep Token. I believe he played on drums. As you see right there, they played the Ultimate Sin from the pretty much the majority was Ozzy covers, right? The Ultimate Sin, Shot in the Dark, Sweet Leaf, Black Sabbath covered, Believer, and Changes. So you can see right there in the notes there, Lizzie Hale saying Ultimate Sin with Jake E. Lee would make sense. Mike Borden, former member of Ozzy Souls band. Adam Wakeman, of course, played keys with the band. Nuno Betancourt from Extreme. David Trainman from Disturbed sang A Shot in the Dark with the crew, and Sweet Leaf. And alongside with Scotty and you know who. And then let's see. Youngblood. Let's talk about that guy. My goodness. You know, I heard the name. I've been seeing his name popping up around festivals. You know, I don't know too much about his musical, his genre. But boy, he came out and sang Changes. And my God, that was, I gotta say, it was fantastic. I did watch it, and I'm like, wow, Youngblood sing that song with perfection. And hats off to Youngblood for actually singing the song fantastic. Changes, an Ozzy Osbourne cover. So I enjoyed that one right there. Let's move on here on the back to the beginning set list here. As I'm cruising along with all these quotes I'm not going to read, you can check it out yourself. Jack Black, I missed out on this. My stream messed up. I heard that was the best thing on the show. A surprise, Jack Black did the Mr. Crowley. I seen some of the photos for Revel Ian and Roman Morello. I guess the children of Scotty and Tom Morello. I guess it was pre-tape, and of course Jack Black wearing the Ozzy inspired jacket with the stripes in the back. That was pretty cool. You know what? This band right here, man, I thought they had a hell of a show. Sean McKinney on drums looks healthy. I'm talking about Alice in Chains. My God, they sounded great. I'm not sure about you guys, but I mean, Alice in Chains, I saw them open up for Guns N' Roses back in 2016. They were fantastic then. They still kick ass now. Man in the Box, right? Iconic. Rest in peace, Elaine Stanley. Wood, number 2. Number 3, what a fantastic cover. After watching it and hearing and watching, and it just, once it ended, and like, oh my God, that was a fantastic, that was one of my favorite covers so far on the whole damn tribute show. Fairy Wears Boots, Black Sabbath cover. Alice in Chains knocked it out the park. I mean, I enjoyed that cover. What you can see, Alice in Chains, 3 songs, and they killed it. Sean McKinney obviously had been dealing with health issues. I believe they canceled their show at Boardwalk out in New Jersey, or somewhere on the East Coast, and Alice in Chains pulled out of the show. I'm seeing like Sean is doing good. He looks healthy. William DeVille looked great, sounded great. Jerry Cantrell, guy's a legend. And Mike Inez on bass legend. Come on, man. Of course. And by the way, a lot of guys on her did a little bit of double duty on the show. Mike Inez played with Alice in Chains, and he also played with Ozzy solo band. We had, Scott Ian playing with the super group and playing with Anthrax. Frankie Bello as well. Super group and Anthrax. You also had Charlie Benante playing with Anthrax and playing with Pantera. You had Zakk Wylde playing with Pantera. Later on, playing with the Ozzy Osbourne band. So we got a lot of guys and gals doing double duty on stage. So Alice in Chains, I thought it was fantastic. My personal opinion. Let's move on here. Gojira. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Gojira. I'm not sure if you guys ever seen Gojira before, but if you have, boy, you know what they're capable of, man. Just face melting, badass metal. Stranded, come on. Silvera, come on. Mea Culpa, obviously from the Olympics, hard and heavy with the France singer. Oh my gosh. And Under the Sun by Black Sabbath. Come on, that was fantastic. Now, for the live stream, I'm not sure what it sounded like in person, but the live stream, a lot of people complained about the streaming audio. Yeah, there were some issues. There's somewhere like, for example, Gojira, the snare drum was a little bit louder than everyone else in the band. Like I toned it down a little bit there, man, on the snare drum. When Pantera was on stage, you could hear nothing but Zakk Wylde's chugging riffs. You could barely hear Phil Semmels pumping out the vocals. So there was definitely some audio issues when it comes to overlaying on the live stream, but yeah, there's nothing we can do. Hopefully they fix it post-production and when they have a DVD or something down the road. All right, super group. There was some stuff come out of this I enjoyed. There was some stuff that kind of scratched my head, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. But, I kind of kept those comments to myself. So we're going to point out some positive stuff, right? The super group, Billy Corgan, Sammy Hagar, Papa V, right? Tobias from Ghost, Steve and Tyler, holy smokes, Tom Morello, Newton Betancourt, Rudy Sarzo. Come on, Rudy has to be there, right? Just has to. Travis Barker, which I was quite surprised. Chad Smith, Danny Carey from Tool. KK Downing from formerly of Judas Priest. Adam Jones from Tool. Adam Wakeman, of course. Vernon Reed from Living Colour. Ronnie Wood, which kind of surprised me. They brought Ronnie Wood from the Rolling Stones. And Kurt producer Andrew Watt, obviously, did a little bit of stuff with the current Ozzy Osbourne music. So you can see right there, Black Sabbath covers Synth of the Universe right there. The little drum bomb off right there between Chad Smith and what's his name? Travis Barker. Breaking the Law, of course, with KK Down and a guitar. Judas Priest cover. It was nice to see that. By the way, it's great to see Judas Priest released, and it was a War Pigs cover. I know they're on tour with the Pain of Shield tour, but man, what band! Judas Priest, man, they killed the Black Sabbath War Pigs, man, just badass metal. Anyway, back to this set list here. Snowblind, Black Sabbath cover, Flying High. By the way, I thought Alice in Chains Fairy with Boots was great, and I'm like, how can you top it out? Sammy Hagar singing Fly High again. That was a good choice. That was a good choice. That was one of my favorites. I'm a huge Sammy Hagar fan, but him knocking out Flying High again, my God, he did it. And of course, it did Sammy Hagar's very on Montrose Rock Candy. Bark in the Moon, of course, when Tobias from Ghost sang that song. Kept the train rolling. Aerosmith when Steven Tyler came out. Walk This Way and Whole Lot of Love. My God, Steven Tyler. You can't tell me his voice is not any good. We'll get to it. So you can see right there, Tom Morello, Nuno Betancourt, Rudy Sarzo, Barker, Chad Smith, Carey did the Synth Universe drum off, as I mentioned. Billy Corgan did the vocals. Breaking the Law, Snowblind. And Flying High again, it was from, that was wrong. Flying High again did Sammy Hagar. And then of course, Papa from Ghost did the Bark in the Moon. Had a different perspective there for me. I'm a big fan of Ghost, but working with Mark of the Moon, But anyway, and come on, Steven Tyler and Ronnie Wood and Nuno Betancourt, Tom Morello, Andrew Watt, Rudy Sarzo, and Travis Barker on the same stage. Holy shit, man. Talk about a who's of rock and roll right there on that stage. But I tell you what, man, Steven Tyler, you can't tell me he has, my God, he can still do it. There's no reason why Aerosmith shouldn't be touring right now. By God, Steven Tyler was fan-fucking-tastic. Guy hasn't missed a beat. I don't know, man. Come on. A few more Aerosmith shows. Make it happen. Make it happen. Anyway, that's my thought about it. Steven Tyler's fantastic. Sammy Hagar, fantastic. All right, Pantera. Cowboys from Hell. Came out, started ripping Cowboys, and the Pits was going. Walk. What do you say? Walk on home, boy. Yeah, Walk. Fantastic. Black Sabbath cover. Planet Caravan. It makes sense, right? Because they done that song in the records. Number 4, Electric Funeral. Oh my God. What? Why? I mean, there's nothing against that song. It's a great song, but Pantera did A Hole in the Sky. They recorded that song in the records as well. Planet Caravan and Hole in the Sky. They recorded the 2 Sabbath songs on the records. Why didn't they pick Hole in the Sky? Well, it's very simple. Metal's gigantic. The metal legends themselves, Metallica, decided to take that song instead. So I kind of wish Pantera did it, but, Metallica did it instead. Pantera took Electric Funeral themselves. All right, up next, Tool. Fantastic. 46-2. Hand of Doom Sabbath cover. That was fantastic. And Anima. my first time seeing Tool in general. I never saw him live, and after watching his live stream, my God, they were fantastic. Adam Jones looks fantastic, bass. Danny Carey's fantastic on drums. And come on, Maynard Keenan wearing a shirt that says "Not Local." Come on, man, Maynard Keenan on stage, crawling on the floor, doing crouches, and come on. I've seen YouTube videos. I still gotta see those guys live, but there you go, Not Local. All right, Tool came out. All right, oh my God, come on, my favorite thrash metal band of all time, Straight from Hell. The portal of hell just opened up in Black Sabbath. Back to the beginning of Villa Park. Holy shit, Slayer came out and they just, I mean, no pun intended, they made it raining blood, baby. Babe, boy, doggy. That was like 8 mosh pits going on, 8 circle pits going on. Came out with Disciple. God hates all. I'm like, holy shit. And then War Assemble. Just hard and heavy. And then there's one thing that kept me surprised here, man. We've been seeing Slayers when Slayer was on the final tour. They did sound check playing covers, right? But that's it. You don't see them play covers at their shows. So it was a treat as a longtime metalhead, a diehard metalhead, a diehard Slayer fan. It was a treat to see Slayer playing a Black Sabbath cover. Wicked World, by the way, came off the first album, right? Great pick from Slayer. And they killed it, man. They Slayerified the Sabbath cover. Of course, they transitioned right into the South of Heaven, which I thought was a great transition. Back to the cover. And of course, Raining Blood, just to get the crowd riled up. An Angel of Death, man. Tom Araya. Ah! My gosh, that was fantastic. What a set list, man. Slayer's 7 songs, it's not long enough for me, but hell, man, they came out there, they brought hell. Holy shit, what a set list, man. My God. And you go from Slayer, like, who's going to top out Slayer? Well, it's Guns N' Roses. Right, I was a little surprised. Like, Slayer coming out, Pits of Hell. Now comes Guns N' Roses. Ooh, sweet child of mine. Right? Right off the bat, Black Sabbath cover. It's All Right. Never Say Die. Junior Eyes. Come on, man. These are some deep cuts. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. One of my favorite songs from Black Sabbath. Right into Welcome to the Jungle at Paradise City to close out their set list. Save what you want, man. Guns N' Roses still getting it done. Slash, Legend. Come on. Duff McKagan on bass. New kick-ass drummer. My apologies, I forgot his name. Who replaced Frank Fanera a couple months ago. I mean, Axel, man. Axel can still pump it out, man. At the age he's at, man, still can do it. Still can do it. So Guns N' Roses were fantastic. And what a way to kick off the next band who, by the way, had a little bit of history at Guns N' Roses. Probably not the greatest back in the 90s, but yeah, the biggest metal band on planet Earth, Metallica. As I mentioned, they played Peter, hold on here, Hole in the Sky, Black Sabbath. Came out with Creeping Death. Right off the Ride and Lightning. Speaking of Ride and Lightning, for whom the bells tolls. Right off the bat. And kudos to Metallica. They got a deep cut Black Sabbath, right? I believe it came off the Technical Ecstasy album. I'm saying the album right because my speech sucks balls. That came up probably in the least fan favorite album of Black Sabbath. No, I'm wrong. I am wrong. Never Say Die. So Never Say Die in song number 2. Talk about a deep cut from Metallica. How about that? Kudos. I mean, right off the bat, Battery, one of my favorite thrashing Metallica songs. Hard and heavy. and right into Master of Puppets, right? It kind of makes sense, right? Because, they toured with Ozzy when Metallica was doing the Master of the Puppets tours. That kind of makes sense, right? Really good. Metallica did an excellent job leading into Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, coming out to do his 5 soul songs one more time. As I mentioned, Zach on guitar, Mike on bass, and on drums, but could be somebody else. Right off the bat, I don't know. Classic. Mr. Crowley, another classic. Suicide Solution, just a classic. This is the Zach era. Mom, I'm Coming Home, and Crazy Trains. Of course, you got all. Most of the songs are from the Randy Rhoads first 2 eras of Ozzy Osbourne. Just the way you do it. It was emotional. As a fan, it was emotional. So Ozzy stepped away a little bit. Of course, he was sitting in his black throne with the band on top of it. Still piping it out, man. He can't stand, but man, he can still belch it out. Of course, he had a nice little table next to him. We had tea, a throat spray, whatever he can do to get power through those couple of little songs. Okay, so yeah, Tommy Clufados was in it. Okay, so Tommy was in the band. So I had a feeling he was going to be in. So it's good to see Tommy back on Zach Wild, Adam Wakeman, and Mike Inez. Black Sabbath. One final time. The final 4 songs. War Pigs. The air raid sirens came on, and the legendary, that just legendary War Pigs intro. It's go time. Once that wrapped up, we got the famous Geezer Butler, the bass intro, leading to NIB, leading right to Iron Man, lead in to close out the show with everyone's favorite. Got the crowd jumping, Paranoid, confetti, pyro, emotional. Let's come back to me. Seeing the crowd shocks, the fans in the front row crying. It was emotional. It was emotional as a longtime rock and roll heavy metal fan here. Come on, you cannot have a teary eye, right? After watching that show. My God, it was an emotional show. It was truly an emotional show. Why be sad about it? Let's celebrate what they've done for this genre, what they've done to entertain our happy asses since the 70s, all the way up to today, the 2025s. They don't have to owe us shit. They don't have to owe us shit. We need to owe them. Us, the fans, we have to owe them. They gave us a whole genre. And look where all that drama, that genre came out of. Thrash metal, hair metal, black metal, just look at it now. The metal tree has expanded so far out. It's amazing. From the one heavy band we all love, Black Sabbath. We also cannot forget this Ozzy solo career. Randy Rhoads, Bob Daisley, Rudy Sarzo, Tommy Aldridge. The list goes on. Randy Castillo, Zach Wild, Mike Inez, Mike Borden as well. There's a lot of guys. Don Airey. Can I forget Don Airey, who's out there playing with Deep Purple? Anyway. Diary of the Madman. I got the Funko Pop Diary of the Man. It's my favorite thing of my Funko Pop collections. You can see it right here. I'm tired of the glare. But one of my favorite collections of Funko Pop Diary of the Madman. Ozzy Osbourne. My favorite top 2 records from Ozzy and the Black Sabbath. Right? We cannot talk about without the band, the album, the start of all, the first Black Sabbath album, right? The song Black Sabbath. Just come on. The Wizard, behind the wasp behind the walls sleep, basically NIB, Wicked World, and the bed of finger sleeping village warning, right? Back from 1970, the band has started the album that started all. I believe came out the same year as well. This next album, which is iconic, Paranoid, War Pigs, Luke Wall, Paranoid, Planet Caravan, Iron Man, Electric Funeral, Hand of Dune, Rat Salad, Jack the Stripper, Affairs Were Boots. These two are iconic. Changed the heavy metal history. You want to talk about Ozzy's solo career? Shit, I grabbed the wrong one. Anyway, I grabbed Bark of the Moon, but fuck it, I have it in my hand here. I was supposed to have Diary of the Madman, but I also have Blizzard of Oz, I Don't Know, Crazy Chain, Suicide Solution, Mr. Crowley. I was supposed to grab Diary of the Madman, but I grabbed Bark of the Moon. But I mean, it doesn't matter. They're all fucking great. Jake Ely, come on. Bark of the Moon, Rock the Roll Rebel. Now you see it, now you don't. Come on. But come on, you got to throw in Diary of the Madman as well. Those first 4 records, I mean, Shot in the Dark, you name it, man. Was it the Ultimate Sin? Those are great records. Hands down, one of my favorite Ozzy records of all time. But I mean, all of them are great. Osmosis, No Rest for the Wicked, you name it, man. Even up to the Gus G era. They're all fantastic. They're all fantastic. And we got to say thank you to Ozzy. Thank you to Black Sabbath. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be talking about metal, rock and roll, all the heavy stuff we listen today. Wouldn't be around without these bands. I mean, Black Sabbath in general, right? The heaviness wouldn't be here without them. And we got to send our hearts, our thoughts, our thank yous. We're thankful we got to see them one more time with the original band while they're alive, while they're still able to do it. And we're thankful to have that one more time. And I kind of wish, as a fan, this was a U.S. tour with Bill, but unfortunately it didn't happen. But for those who are able to witness it one more time in Birmingham, England, where it all starts, you're one lucky son of a bitch if you went out to see it live, and you witnessed history. I witnessed history back here in the U.S. watching live stream, and it was well worth all 8 hours right here at home. I can't bitch about it. I'm sitting in my bed, get up and get food, go to the bathroom, check on my kids, go back and watch the show. It was the show of the century. Nothing will top this. This is history, heavy metal history. Something you could tell my kids, maybe tell your kids the next 20, 30 years. I saw them live. I watched them live stream. The final Black Sabbath show ever. The final Ozzy Osbourne show ever. And let's celebrate, baby. Let's celebrate, and let's bring Black Sabbath and Ozzy everywhere. Going to work, here at home, whatever you may be doing. It's time to celebrate and celebrate the life of heavy metal. Until next time, my friends, stay heavy as always. Crank some Sabbath, crank some Ozzy, and I'll talk to you.